In this video, we're going to analyze the following scenario. Let's suppose that Widgets R Us can produce up to 300 units per week, and that each unit sells for $22. Suppose that our variable costs per unit are $14, and that fixed costs per week are about $1,350. Let's first determine how many units the firm must sell per week in order to break even. In order to break even, we do need to find our total profit function, and we will be setting our total profit function equal to 0. In order to do that, let's go ahead and try to determine our total revenue per week. And our total revenue is going to come from selling the units, and each unit sells for $22. So let's represent our total revenue by 22 times X. Next, we need to subtract off our costs. We need to subtract off not only our variable costs, but also our fixed costs. Our variable costs in this question are $14, so let's represent that as 14 times X. And then our fixed costs are $1,350. Combining like terms, we see that our total profit function should be 8x minus 1,350. So in order to break even, let's set our total profit function equal to 0. And we're going to try to solve for x, or the number of units we need to sell that week. Adding 1,350 to both sides of the equation gives us this. And then we can solve for x by dividing both sides by 8. And here we get x is equal to 168.75. In other words, we're going to need to sell about 169 items per week in order to break even. Let's now answer our second question, which is what kind of profit or loss are we looking at if we sell 120 units per week versus 250 units per week? Notice that since our break-even number is about 169, if we sell 120 units per week, we're under our break-even number, which means we should expect to see a loss that particular week. On the other hand, if we sell 250 units per week, we're going to be over our break-even number, implying that we should see a profit that particular week. Both of these numbers can be found by taking your total profit function and substituting in the unit number as X. So in our first case, we have 120 units per week. Let's sub in X is equal to 120. It's going to give us a total profit of 8 times 120 minus our fixed costs of $1,350. And simplifying that, we see we are at a loss this particular week of $390. On the other hand, if X was equal to 250, we'd have 8 times 250 minus our fixed costs. And in this particular week, we would see a profit of $650. And finally, in our last question, we want to figure out how many items we need to sell per week in order to have a $400 profit that particular week. In this particular question, we actually have information about the total profit that we want. So we're going to sub in 400 for our total profit, and we're going to set that equal to 8x minus 1,350. And then our goal here is to solve for x. We're going to first add 1,350 to both sides. And then to solve for x, we will divide both sides by 8. Doing that gives x is about 218.75. Implying we're going to need to sell around 219 items to see that profit of $400 in that week.